let's say I'm now a fascist little piggy working. I've gotten 100 pounds fatter so I can work for the Department of Homeland Security. I'm a Customs and Border Patrol fascist pig, okay? I knock on Scott Jennings' door. I arrest him under the suspicion that he is a Trendaragua member. Scott Jennings luckily doesn't have his ID on him. He says, what are you talking about? I am a Republican consultant. I'm Scott Jennings. I'm on CNN every night. I say, shut the fuck up. And I beat the fuck out of him. And I black bag him. And I put him in a fucking prison cell.
Honestly, that's basic stuff. In fact, if you violate the law, that's exactly when due process kicks in, because you get to have a hearing of some kind to determine whether or not the case against you is true. I don't understand why that's even something a congressperson would say.
Well, just to the overall premise, President Trump was elected by the American people to secure the border, end human trafficking, and defeat the drug.
You fucking bots, bro. Every conservative spokesperson for the admin is a goddamn bot. They just straight up repeat the same points over and over again. President Trump has the heavens mandate. God ordained him to save the American people. And that's why we have to kill every Guatemalan. You don't understand. Jesus Christ, dude. Do you feel more secure under Trump? No. What? Who? Who feels more secure under Trump? You have to be a real fucking baboon to think that an administration that's like disappearing people in broad fucking daylight and defending it and actively fighting the courts and eviscerating the crumbling power, the already crumbling power of the judiciary. Like, people go, oh, they're white, but dude, you don't understand. White people are not safe either. You're a fucking idiot if you think, oh, I'm white, I'll be fine. You're a moron. Due process goes away. It doesn't matter. They just go, you're a non-citizen. What are you going to do about it? You can't, there's no court system. There's no mechanism where you can just go, hey, I'm going to prove my whiteness and citizenship.
Drug cartels, hands down. That is what the American people are expecting from him. Just last night, there were 17 additional illegal aliens that were deported, 6 of them who were had raped children. Like, these are people who need to go. The administration has made it very clear
I
that they are
agree.
prioritizing criminals.
I'm going to interrupt because I want to make sure we're staying on the premise here. It's not about actually those people who, you named the 17 of them, had final orders of deportation. They had actually had their cases adjudicated. They were using basic immigration deporting tools to deport them because they did have their day in court. We're talking about the people who didn't.
But the bottom line is that, first of all, they're doing it very quickly. They're deporting illegal alien criminals. The one thing that I will say is that there's a lot of information that we don't know that Department of Homeland Security does have. They're doing their job. They have the intelligence.
No.
It may not be shared publicly.
No, they're not. You know why I know that? Because when they reveal the information that they do have on the people that they're deporting, we very quickly find out that, no, they don't have fucking any information. They're just making shit up as they go along. Because the goal was never to deport criminals. The goal was to deport brown people. Enough brown people that will make the dumb fucks feel like, you know, we've done enough racism. That's why I kept repeating in the beginning when they kept saying like, oh, we're deporting all the criminals. I was like, what are their crimes? Because the notion that the average undocumented migrant living on U.S. soil that has done a heinous crime that never got their day in court is so idiotic. That would imply that the entire police system, the entire court system was just actively letting undocumented people do fucking rapes and murders. Like, you're out of your fucking mind. That wasn't happening.
But some of it may not be able to be shared publicly at this
with
point.
the courts either. Go ahead.
They're not doing that. The person that Joe Rogan was talking about, and I actually think he might have been conflating multiple cases, is the story of a gay makeup artist named Andre, who had some crown tattoos with the name Mom on them.
There's still so much we don't know about that.
Are you suggesting that the gay makeup artist is a member of Tren de Aragua, which was the accusation? That was the stated claim. And by the way, there are many more of them. There are 3. The reason why I think Joe Rogan is a little bit confused. He mentioned a gay barber. It's actually a gay makeup artist. He might have also been a barber. I found in a 5-minute Google search 3 separate barbers who were sort of rounded up because of their tattoos that were apparently Tren de Agua tattoos. One of them is the Nike Jumpman logo. Another one, multiple crowns. I mean, you know, LeBron has a crown tattoo. Is he a member of Tren de Agua? Like, this is ridiculous.
Caroline Lovett was asked about this because there was a document that the administration submitted in court that basically said, if you have a tattoo, you have clothing that might be associated with this gang, you're in the gang. She was asked about it. Here's what she said.
You can get classified by simply having certain symbols in your tattoos and wearing certain streetwear brands. That alone is a...
By the way, the process of revoking people's citizenship, declaring people who are legal permanent residents, the people that have proper documentation to be on U.S. soil, the entire "you are no longer a citizen here" attitude is literally what the Nazis did. Okay? That's it. Like, Jews became non-citizens after the racial laws were passed. That's it. They did not deport Jews or put Jews in concentration camps over any other metric. That was the legal standing that they utilized. That was the pre-existing legal construct that they utilized. German folk were real citizens. The white Germans were the real citizens. Jews were not considered citizens. It is the process of denaturalization that took place. What? Technically, an undocumented migrant is an illegal alien, which is a crime to enter the United States illegally. Dude, we've moved so far past that point right now. You are so fucking stupid. First of all, the process of crossing a border in an effort to get an asylum claim filed is already a legal process. So you're wrong about that. Number 2, it's a civil fucking violation. There's a difference between crossing the border and like murdering someone, okay? And we're not even talking about that right now. We're talking about people with the fucking paperwork that ICE is deporting erroneously. Wake up! The law's the law, dude. Sorry. The only difference between an undocumented migrant and a documented one is just paperwork. Okay? That's it. That's the only difference. But we're not even talking about that right now. We're talking about the government is doing to legal permanent residents and people with the proper documentation to be in the United States. You're a fucking moron.
enough to get someone classified as TDA and sent to El Salvador.
That's not true, actually, Andrew.
According to this document, it is.
Shame on you and shame on the mainstream media for trying to cover for these individuals
I'm not trying to cover
who have.
for anyone.
This
That's
is a
not
vicious
fair.
gang, Andrew, and you are questioning the credibility of these agents who are putting their life on the line.
That is what the document said.
Yeah.
Can we go back just
Yeah. The agents putting their lives on the line while they deport the fucking gay hairstylist who has no criminal record whatsoever after going to his permanent residence as a person who keeps telling the fucking government where he is at all times. You understand that, right? The people that they're going after are the easiest targets. They're not even going after undocumented migrants. They're going after documented non-citizens, documented migrants, because they have to constantly tell the authorities where the fuck they're at. So these lazy, fat, piglet pieces of shit in the fucking Department of Homeland Security are like, oh, well, you know, there's not really any criminal gang members that we can find, so let's just make it up. They're doing dragnets across the board on legal residents here, okay? They're doing it to people who are constantly telling the federal government where they're at, collaborating with the federal government because they were silly enough to believe that America had some semblance of fucking morality. Do you understand that? What happened? I thought these were the scary criminals that we're deporting. Read the ICE document for yourself that Caroline Levitt refused to answer questions about. It says exactly what Andrew Feinberg said. All it takes is 8 points on a made-up rubric, and that can be just a tattoo, 4 points, or displaying logos or symbols, 4 points. And those tattoos are insane. One of the people that they decided was a Tren de Aragua gang member was a dude who is a swimming teacher, a swimming instructor for autistic teenagers because his cousin is autistic. And because of that, he had an autism ribbon tattoo, an autism awareness tattoo. That was enough to be like, yep, nope, this guy's a fucking real criminal. Get his ass out of here. It is fucking insane.
Just to the premise of what Joe Rogan was talking about, because he's right. It's horrific to believe that in a constitutional democracy like the United States of America, where it's supposed to be guaranteed that we are having to rely on information based on an administration that does not have a good relationship with the truth. They're not even willing to provide the judges who are part of these cases with the documents to prove that some of these individuals actually either did have due process or had been found to be criminal gang members. And let's be very clear. I don't think anybody at this table wants criminals in this country who are murdering children, who are hurting people. I think that's we can probably go baseline there. But what I think we have to ask ourselves is, if you believe in a constitutional democracy, do you not want your president to follow the law? And by the way, in our own...
Dude, Democrats are so bad at responding to this. Just destroy the false claim. Why are you entertaining this? Why are you conceding to this? Just ask. Do you honestly think that the cops and the judges under the Biden administration let rapists roam free when they found out that they were undocumented? Are you fucking insane? Are you experiencing a significant series of mental setbacks that have caused you to truly diminish the processing power that you have in your mind? Because if you believe that, you are the dumbest person I have ever encountered in my fucking life. Not only is there no evidence to suggest that that was what was going on, it would be an incredibly complex web of individuals from all different aspects of the federal law enforcement agencies collaborating with one another under one singular woke banner for God knows what fucking reason. What are you saying? The Biden administration did not just go, oh, are you a rapist, but you're an undocumented migrant from El Salvador? I guess you can go free. My bad. You have to be the stupidest fucking person on the planet if you believe that. And not only that, but also the evidence that is readily available for criminal convictions, charges, arrests, prove the exact opposite reality. What is effing? It's not effing for me! What are you talking about? As I was saying, there has never been a moment in the United States of American history where the government has gone, oh, you've done a crime, but you're undocumented. Oops, nothing we can do about it. You're free to do more crimes. That's not real. And not only that, but also there is a process that takes place, of course, when you are an undocumented, when you are a non-citizen across the board, documented or undocumented, you do a crime on U.S. soil, you get prosecuted, you go to jail. And in that process, there is information that's readily available for all of you at the Department of Homeland Security's website, at the Customs and Border Patrol website, where you can fucking look for yourself. The rate of criminality amongst undocumented migrants is far lower than natural-born U.S. citizens. Far lower. Undocumented migrants are responsible for less crime per capita than natural-born U.S. citizens are. You are a fucking moron if you don't recognize that. That's just the truth. So my statement to Karen Finney, former senior advisor of the Hillary Clinton 2016 campaign, is What the fuck are you doing? What are you saying? Why are you conceding to the made up hysteria of a white supremacist psychopath? The fuck is wrong with you? Maybe because there's a lot more U.S. citizens, maybe, Lol. This is exactly what I mean when I say people want to sound smart, but they're so fucking stupid that they just don't hear the words that are coming out of my mouth. I said per capita. Undocumented migrants per capita are responsible for less crimes than natural-born U.S. citizens are. That is proportional, okay? I'm not telling you in totality. Of course, undocumented migrants are responsible for virtually no crimes whatsoever when you look at the totality.
CNN poll, a vast majority of Americans said they're concerned and want to see Donald Trump follow the law.
Scott, isn't this exactly what we denounce other countries for doing? Not giving our own citizens, when they get wrongfully detained around the world, our own citizens the due process that they deserve?
Well, I think multiple things could be true. Number one, I delineate between American citizens and everyone else. If you're a U.S. citizen.
No, you don't delineate. That means you don't care about the Constitution. There's no delineation in the Constitution. Non-citizens, okay? Non-citizens, migrants, documented and undocumented alike, still get constitutional protection as long as they've crossed the fucking border, okay? When they've crossed the border, they are on U.S. soil. When they're on U.S. soil, they get the same fucking constitutional protections. It's in the Constitution. It doesn't matter what your opinion is on this, okay? It doesn't matter. Either you say, fuck the Constitution, and maybe you do think that way, and that's fine. I don't like the Constitution either, but there are certain things that I do like within it. This is one of them. Every single person on U.S. soil, citizen and non-citizen alike, have constitutional protections. And one of those protections is obviously a free speech protection from the government taking action against them, which the government is currently violating. And another one is the 5th and 14th Amendment that requires there to be a fair trial. There is no delineation that you can individually make. Unless you want to say, yeah, I don't really care. Some of these non-citizens, yeah, they shouldn't get any fucking due process. They shouldn't get anything. The problem with that argument is that if that is what you want to entertain, if that is your argument, if you are making this argument, you can be one day branded as a non-citizen because now there's no due process. That means they can do whatever the fuck they want to you.
I put you in a different category.
On due process, that's not a distinction that the law makes,
If you've come here and you've broken our laws and committed violent acts or murdered and raped and whatever, I put you in a different category. When it comes to the
law and due process, that is not a distinction.
Well, if you'd like to argue that Trinidad or Aragua should have the same rights and that you get as an American citizen, go ahead.
I
don't change the Constitution.
Hold on a second.
Constitution argues that.
The argument is,
Yes, I will argue that. Yes. Of course. What do you mean? What the fuck do you mean, dumbass? Yes. They should. Because it's not about the actual fucking criminals. It's about people that you have branded as Trinidad. That's precisely the point. How do I know Scott Jennings is not a part of Trinidad? How do I know? Let's say I'm now a fascist little piggy working. I've gotten 100 pounds fatter so I can work for the Department of Homeland Security. I'm a Customs and Border Patrol fascist pig, okay? I knock on Scott Jennings' door. I arrest him under the suspicion that he is a Trinidad member. Scott Jennings luckily doesn't have his ID on him. He says, what are you talking about? I am a Republican consultant. I'm Scott Jennings. I'm on CNN every night. I say, shut the fuck up. And I beat the fuck out of him. And I black bag him. And I put him in a fucking prison cell. Then He says, wait a minute, what's going on? I'm an American citizen. Hello? I'm Scott Jennings. I'm on CNN. I beat the shit out of him even further. Okay? I beat his fucking ass over and over again. He begs me for the aluminum foil that they give to the little children in a fucking deportation facility. I say, fuck you. You don't get it. You're Trendaragua. Scott Jennings keeps saying, can I see a lawyer? I say, fuck you. You're Trendaragua. What do you mean a fucking lawyer? Then I put him on a fucking plane and ship his bitch ass to El Salvador to a slave labor colony. Okay? Every step of the way, he's like, I'm an American citizen. I'm an American citizen. No, you're not. I have decided, I am the law. I've decided you are Trendaragua. Fuck are you going to do about it? When you don't have due process, it's all up to me. That's why I keep saying everyone is fucking Trendaragua if there is no due process. Everyone is. And it's not like this is a hypothetical that I'm entertaining. This is literally the reason why they're having this fucking argument on CNN. Due process gives you and every single other person the opportunity to defend themselves, to make sure that we're just not nabbing random people and then claiming they're Trendaragua. That's it. That's the point. But I'm not illegal. That's the answer. That's the only answer these fucking dumb fuck Republicans have. I'm not illegal. Okay. You can't prove it, though. You can't prove it. If there's no due process, you can't prove that you're not illegal. I say you're illegal, so you are fucking illegal. That's how it works.
You're saying that a terrorist can walk across the border and become effectively a U.S. citizen?
That's not what I'm saying.
Hold on. Scott, look at me. Okay.
Yeah, let's give the host her
you and I are talking.
respect.
You and I are
Let's give her
talking.
respect.
Okay.
Not
What I'm saying to you is that the law does not make a distinction between U.S. citizens and everybody else when it comes to being accused of crimes. Are you saying that that should not be in place? That if you happen to not be a citizen, you get to be thrown into a jail with no process at all?
I'm saying that these people are effectively terrorists. They walked across our borders illegally.
Okay.
They are violent, and I don't really want them
but
here.
But doesn't the government have to prove that they are who they say they are?
Correct.
That's
all we're saying.
That's all.
I think.
I mean, you can say it.
Eventually,
it's not a concession that you like Trendaragua. It's just a question of the basics of civics in this country.
I think eventually the government will have to show all of its cards on everybody that they have detained, deported, or done anything to in this arena. But there is no doubt. There is no doubt that the Trump administration is rounding up effectively terrorists who came across here illegally, committed horrific acts.
Not yet. But eventually they'll have to. But also, I will defend their right not to do so. Yeah, what eventually. They'll do it one day. Don't worry. You fucking coward. Goddamn Nazi piece of shit. Why should they? When there's loyal propagandists like Scott Jennings on CNN, on liberal media, turning around being like, I just don't want any Trendaragua in the country over and over again. When the conversation itself is about due process, because without due process, turns out there's innocent people being fucking deported under the suspicion that they're Trendaragua. That's the whole point. You can't just avoid that point by repeatedly saying, what about Trendaragua? Okay, you're fucking Trendaragua now. Suck my dick. I hate these goddamn morons, dude.
And do not need to be in this country.
They are doing that, perhaps, but they're also doing a lot of other things, too. And that's why the courts are asking questions about it.